Have you ever met someone who had every chance to succeed, yet lost it all because of one habit? This is the story of a man whose dream was bigger than his village, but his laziness was even bigger than his dream. And what happened to him will make you question your own life. Listen carefully, because this story might just open your eyes. Once upon a time, in a quiet countryside village, surrounded by green meadows and tall oak trees, there lived a young man named George. George was 25, strong, healthy, and full of dreams. He often said, "One day, I'll be the richest farmer in this village. My fields will shine golden with crops, and people will come from far away to learn from me." Everyone admired his confidence. He spoke like a man destined for greatness. But there was one problem: George was terribly lazy. When the sun rose, other farmers went to their fields. George stayed in bed. When people worked hard under the hot sun, George sat in the shade, talking about success. When women carried water from the well, George smiled and said, "I'll do it later." He loved talking about his dreams, but he hated taking action. One evening, George's uncle, an old and wise farmer, came to visit. He looked at George's empty field and sighed. The land was rich, yet not a single crop had grown. "George," he said, "you always talk about your golden fields, but all I see is dry soil. Why do you waste your youth like this?" George laughed and replied, "Uncle, don't worry. I'll start tomorrow. You'll soon see the best field in the village." His uncle had heard that word tomorrow too many times. So, he decided to teach George a lesson he would never forget. The old man reached into his pocket and brought out two small pouches. Inside them were two kinds of seeds. He said, "These are not ordinary seeds. They are special." He opened the first pouch. "This is the ambition seed. If you plant it and water it every day, it will grow into a tree that gives fruit, shade, and wealth." Then he opened the second pouch. "This one is the laziness seed. If you plant it, it will grow quickly, but it will spread weeds all over your field and destroy everything." He looked into George's eyes and said softly, "Both seeds are in your hands. The future of your land and your life depends on which one you choose to care for." George looked at the seeds. He smiled. "Of course, I'll plant the ambition seed. I want success." But when morning came, George felt sleepy. "I'll do it tomorrow," he murmured. Days passed. Out of boredom one afternoon, he planted both seeds. He shrugged and said, "Let's see what happens. I can always fix it later." Weeks went by. George forgot about the seeds completely. He spent his days gossiping, sleeping, and dreaming of a better future while doing nothing for it. Then, one bright morning, George walked to his field and froze. The laziness seed had grown fast. Wild weeds covered the ground, spreading everywhere like a green curse. And the ambition seed, small, weak, and nearly dead, his dream had turned into a nightmare. That same day, his uncle returned. He looked at the field and said, "George, this field is your life. Ambition is like a small seed. It only grows if you care for it daily with effort and patience. But laziness grows by itself. It spreads fast and destroys everything around it." He paused. "My boy, you wanted to be great, but your laziness has already stolen your future." George fell to his knees. His hands trembled as he touched the dying seed. Tears filled his eyes. For the first time, he understood dreams are not enough. Without action, they die. That night, George couldn't sleep. He thought about all the time he had wasted, the chances he had thrown away, and the life he could have lived. He whispered to himself, "If I don't change now, I will lose everything." The next morning, before the sun rose, George got up. He went to the field and began pulling out the weeds with his bare hands. It was painful. His hands bled. His back ached, but he didn't stop. He watered the ambition seed, cared for it every single day, and never said tomorrow again. Days turned into months. Slowly, the seed grew stronger, and in time, it became a great tree full of fruit, shade, and wealth. George changed too. He became known as the farmer who fought his laziness and won. Dear listener, George's story isn't just about farming, it's about life. Inside all of us, there are two seeds, ambition and laziness. Ambition grows only when you feed it with effort, discipline, and daily action. Laziness grows by itself, but it destroys your dreams. So, don't wait for tomorrow. Start today. Water your ambition. Pull out the weeds of laziness. Because the longer you wait, the faster your dream will die. If this story inspired you, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who dreams big but struggles to act. Together, let's grow our ambition and live the life we dream of.